Welcome to the Business Trendsetter Podcast, where we teach you all about trends and how to use them to grow your business. My name is Manny Turan.
And I'm Adam Hartung.
And we are Spark Partners. To learn how you can grow your business using trends, go to our website at sparkpartners.com. And if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, or if you're brand new, you'll understand that we talk a lot about trends. And one of the four major trends that's happening in the world today that we're in the middle of is AI. And today we have a special guest who is an expert in this domain, and we want to understand a little bit from his perspective of where things are going. His name is Dr. Taleb Alashkar. He is CTO and co-founder of AlgoFace, that is an AI and computer vision company. And welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Manny. It's my honor to be your guest today.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about your background. What led you to go into AI as a career?
Okay, I think the story started when I was a teenager. I was extremely excited about computer coding, programming, and the potential of the ability to create something innovative and creative using just some line of code. The idea of start with a plain page and start writing certain code, then having some software that is working and doing stuff and executing algorithms. That idea, when I was 13, 14 years old, I was extremely exciting and inspiring. So I decided to go in this direction in computer vision and machine learning to enable any computer or phone or machine to understand what they are seeing and capturing by the camera for any application. Then I did my PhD thesis in face recognition, emotion detection, pain estimation, and it was extremely telling and exciting how much information we can know from human face. It goes far away beyond your identity. Okay, this face is thin. We can tell your age, your gender, your ethnicity. We can tell maybe your cognitive, if you are stressed, your emotional status, if you are happy, if you are concentrated, if you are distracted, if you are nervous. Even we can now detect a lot of your vitals from your phone camera. We can detect your heart rate and blood pressure and oxygen saturation rate. All that really can be captured in high accuracy just from your face.
That's fascinating.
It can go deeper and deeper. So that's why when I moved to US, I continue my research in face soft biometrics, in augmented reality for human face. And when I decided to create my own business, I came up with the idea of AlgoFace. AlgoFace stands for algorithm for human face. So, and you can see it as a platform that can enable other business from early stage startup to corporate. And this is literally, we have some early stage startup as customer, and we have corporate, like Fortune 100 corporate company as customer. They are using our technologies that we have developed to enable their solutions, their software, their machine to see and understand the human face.
Wow, that's fascinating. And, remember the days of Star Trek or Star Wars and all these, 25, 30 years ago, and all these things are coming to fruition. One of the interesting things about your technology, and I'll have you explain it to you in a second, and then I'll ask Adam to come in with some questions, is with Spark Partners, we talk a lot about trends, but we say that when you are able actually to bring several trends together, then you get a higher chance of success. You can do a lot more things when you're more than one trend.
Yeah.
Now, because I know a little bit about your technology company, you have something different. You're doing something different than just the run-of-the-mill facial recognition companies. What are you doing that's different? And then after that, I'm going to come back with the trend, and then I want to have Adam come in after that.
Yeah. First of all, let me before I talk, let me distinguish between face recognition that people call face recognition about any applications that use human face. But technically, what we are doing in AlgoFace is face analysis. We have some viewpoint that we want to develop a technology to analyze the human face without stripping the human rights. So we keep ourselves away from any face recognition or face verification technology because it can be misused, and it's already been misused in many scenarios. So just at the very beginning, AlgoFace doesn't and will not go and enable any face recognition or face verification technology for any company or private or public sector, because we believe this technology has a lot of implications and it can be misused to control people and suppress people easily. But what we are doing in AlgoFace is somehow different. We believe what we can get from your face is extremely valuable, a part of your identity. We need to keep your identity for yourself, but we are first of all developing some platforms that works and enable other software. Our very first product was face tracking technology and facial motion capturing. We have developed extremely accurate, light, dense facial landmark tracking system that can map your face and capture every subtle facial movement from your face. And we package this in extremely light, agile, and swift way, so it can run inside your browser, it can run inside your phone. So whenever we license this technology for other company that, for example, they are using it for driver monitoring system, they may use it for emotion recognition, they may use it for augmented reality for a human face. What they do, we enable them to analyze your face and get valuable information that doesn't include your identity, number one. So we protect your privacy. Number two, we do everything on the edge. What I mean by on the edge for inside your phone, inside your browser, we don't stream your face scan or face image to any server in the world. So everything will stay inside your phone, inside your browser. And what we are interested in to capture facial movement and other soft biometrics that can enable valuable software. For example, software for driver monitoring system to alert the driver who are sleepy or drowsy that can save their lives. Maybe some telehealth application, we can enable them to capture your heart rate or blood pressure or respiration rate that can have massive impact on people, especially with COVID. You can save a lot of visits to hospitals. And other applications that we enable is augmented reality for human face, for entertainment, for face animation, avatars, or e-commerce as well.
Wow. Adam, you want to jump in? I know you've got some questions.
So when you were preparing to start your company, what did you think was the unmet need in the marketplace, unmet or poorly met need that you would come in and you would improve that customer's life?
Yeah, actually, three main pillars that I have when I envisioned why the market need my company, why I need to create a new solution that doesn't exist, or maybe one part of it exists and not the other two parts. We focus to develop platform for human face analysis that stand for three main technical values. Number one, accuracy, how we can have extremely accurate face analysis technology. Number two, privacy, how we can protect your privacy. Unlike all those giant company or big tech company that they are hungry for data, they want to stream your face to their server and keep them and save them, like social media tech or search engines or big tech, all of them, they keep millions of images on their server. Number one, no, everything should be done inside your phone, inside your browser. And this is very big technical challenge. It's not something easy to do. And number three is the bias that I see in a lot of AI solutions. Just recently, after last week, it was nationwide news that Facebook video recommendation system labeled black people video, and they recommended it or labeled it as video of primates. That's horrible. You don't need to do that, right? So because their face analysis system or recognition system is not inclusive, they are training or building their AI for a human face, even though big tech company, maybe not intentionally, it is just some bias in design. It works well on white people only. And the same story happened with Asian company. Their AI for face works very well only for Asian people. So our main focus on developing face analysis that sees all human face, whatever skin color you have, face shape, even skin condition. So trying to solve this bias and protect privacy and have something extremely accurate, that's something that we found that it is really missing in the market.
So I'm hearing you very clearly state the functionality of your product solution. You're able to glean additional information from facial recognition. You talked about several features that include you can look at all nationalities. The data is held within the device rather than being disseminated across the web. There's some safety to that, and that leads those features lead to benefits, which are it's more secure. It doesn't offer opportunities for the facial recognition problems that we've seen with Apple and some other products. So we've got functions, features, and benefits. But what I'm really struggling with here is I'm trying to understand, what's the need? To some extent, it sounds like you're describing an application that you've built that's now in search of a problem to solve.
Yeah. So the need, there's numerous application for this platform. What we are developing is not comprehensive solution that is interesting for end user particularly, but there's a lot of company that they have some ideas and they need enablers. They need somebody who crack it, very complex part of it. So they want to take it as fundamental technology and start to build on the top of it their own solution. Think about driver monitoring system. Okay. If automotive company want to develop what we have spent years of R&D and data collection and data labeling and algorithm design, algorithm optimization. So many companies, they don't want really to spend 2 to 3 years on this. If there's a company who already cracked it and solved this part, they'll be happy to partner with and start from where we ended and complete and build on the top of it their own complete solution.
I think one of the things that we try to work with entrepreneurs quite a bit at Spark Partners is helping them understand how to bridge over into the need analysis and fulfilling the need. A lot of times we have technology that's good and it's helpful, but the technologies that we see really make a big difference, the ones that become more successful are ones that actually solve a need. So we could say, what I'm trying to get toward is, are you helping cars be more safe? So for example, so your goal is safety, and so the unmet need is safety. So that would be one way to think about an unmet need. Another way could be identifying illnesses in healthcare. That's somebody has a series of criteria related to data you could pick up, and you could say, oh, if a person has a heart condition, we can start to see these things in our intelligence would let us know that they're at risk of a heart attack or at risk of an incident of some kind. So what we're trying to do is, I think, get really down to that need to try to say this is actually meeting an unmet need, as opposed to saying, oh, we have a great component that could go into a lot of solutions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Certainly, this is more business perspective, and I can talk a little bit about that. So the need that we are fulfilling or satisfying sometimes is different from one vector to another vector. For example, in automotive, as you said, you mentioned, we need more secure and safer car for a driver, especially for like working driver, like fleet management company who have trucks that those driver of the truck, they are working for very, very long hours, and that can get into like accident because of tiredness or drowsiness. So we are making automotive more safer for driver, number one. Number two, now like we are making cars more fun by like, now you are not only interested in monitoring a driver, the projection or like the future is I need to monitor the passenger as well and know the interaction between passenger and driver, and maybe the car can adjust in many ways according to the situation inside the vehicle. So we are making the car safer and more fun. In telehealth, we are saving huge cost of eliminating a lot of not very needed visit to like medical institute, hospitals, or offices. So from telehealth, if we can log a lot of data from your face in high accuracy, that can, number one, cut a lot of cost for insurance company, for medical institute, and for the patient themselves that they don't have very good insurance. Number one. Number two, we can connect the best talented physician with the people who are in remote sites or satellite areas. So they are not very close to big cities where it's the best medical center there. If we can connect them using advanced telehealth solutions. For entertainment industry, we are enabling high accuracy and more realistic avatar creation and face animation inside the video games to create more connection between like the gamer and the game. If they can see their face and facial motion reflected inside the game in real time.
Yeah, I think and that's all very fascinating. If you think about value when you're a platform, it's sometimes really hard to separate the value, the total value versus the value in each of these little markets, right? You just mentioned automobile, 2 or 3 values there. You mentioned, gaming. And so one of the things that's going to be really important for your growth is taking a step back from that and understanding the value that you provide to all of those in a unified manner. So think about a battery, right? A little battery. What's the value? That's a platform, right? A battery?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if in the same way, you can say, well, a battery is powering my phone, so I enable communications. And a battery is powering my lamp over here, and that enables light. And then a battery does this. So now we're starting to it doesn't make sense what they do, but if you take a step back and you say, we empower the world around you. Okay, that makes more sense.
So you mentioned 3 markets so far, and I think there's probably more that we could explore. We've talked about automotive applications, we've talked about healthcare applications, and you just brought up gaming applications. How are you going about deciding where to focus your research, where to focus your sales efforts, where to focus your product development energies when you have markets that are this large with so many possible applications within each one?
Yeah, exactly. As Manny mentioned, like the platform itself, it has their own advantages, like privacy, like working on the edge, inclusivity, like it can see every face, and accuracy. So whenever you start satisfy those needs, that's a core value. How will you decide to go from market to another? usually we started by some vertical in e-commerce and building a certain solution for beauty industry. And also we are licensing those platforms for, as it is, for multiple verticals or industry. But as you mentioned as well, every industry, they need their own customization, their own needs. One size doesn't fit all, we understand. So how we decide the vertical that we don't, actually, basically, we listen to the market, we listen to the inbound, like 90% of our paying client now are inbound requests, not outbound. People are really finding us themselves, including very big tech company, and reaching out to us without really making efforts to reach out to them. So we listen to those potential customers. Some customer decide, guys, you have like amazing technology here, but I need some customization. Can we partner on this? There's big pocket here. Let us partner. Let us customize for this vertical, and then we'll go. Then we make some like strategic decision inside the company in C-level if we want to go after this market now or not. Sometimes it is interesting, but not the right time. Sometimes related to funding and capacity of how much funding and where we want to allocate the funding to which market now. But certainly there's many markets that really we can go after, and you don't need this huge stretch, but you need to go strategically from one market to another. But
are you raising money from, say, venture capital or private equity, or are you trying to raise money through your customer partnerships?
Actually, like it is mixed strategy. We have some angel investors like connections, and we have corporate venture capital. This big corporate company now, we prefer to work with corporate venture capital rather than traditional VCs. We find that working with them is more meaningful and fruitful because they don't only give you the money, they give you the money and the market and the expertise, and also they push you so hard in certain direction where there's really big need. So mostly, like we focus our fundraising to venture capital right now. To corporate venture arm.
When it comes to the availability of cash for venture investment, the state that leads the way is obviously California. A close second is New York, followed by Massachusetts and Texas. I believe you said at the beginning of the presentation today that you were in Michigan. And I'm curious why you are in Michigan as opposed to some of these other hotbeds where the funding is more easily accessible, readily available.
Yeah. Actually, I live in Michigan since 5 years almost. Even before I started AlgoFace, I moved here. I was working for automotive company for like around a year. Then I started AlgoFace. AlgoFace was incubated originally in mother company called Algo for 2 years and a half. Algo basically works on logistics and supply chain and incubated AlgoFace. And AlgoFace spun off as its own legal entity just last March 2021. And now the company officially registered in Arizona, in Carefree, where we have most of our business team, our CEO, Andrew Bard, and our CFO, Scott Denny, our CMO, Jeffrey. So most of our business now are in Arizona and Phoenix now becoming really big, like hub for high tech. And they are the state there in Arizona doing amazing job in like creating very nice environment for startup and technology. So most of the business team there, but I'm still here. They are trying hard to move me there to Arizona.
Well, it's the weather is going to be a lot different than Michigan, I'll tell you that. And I think you'd probably like it. I think what we're talking about is the world of AI is fascinating, and there's all kinds of angles and things that are happening right now. Can you give us a perspective of things that are around the corner on the horizon that maybe the layperson may not know about? Like, what's the world gonna look like in 3 to 5 years as it pertains to AI?
Let's be specific. Let's go down to the machine vision technologies you work with.
Yeah, like, okay, if I want to narrow down in human-related, we will see face recognition and face matching technology everywhere. So, and unfortunately, it is, as always, the legal infrastructure like lagging behind 5 to 7 years behind the technology. Now we are starting catching up. We will see a lot of new regulation about who can do what with your face image. Now we started to see that in California Privacy Act, and which is quite strict. And also all big tech companies will find themselves struggling to find real images, like from where they can get human face to fuel to their AI, because now everybody is downloading images from the web and using them. That will not be legal very soon in many states and in most of like North America and Europe at least. So we will find ourselves like this is a lot of legal battles. And that will lead to Chinese or Asian face recognition company will be stronger than US-based or European face recognition company. And this is a dilemma that we need to solve because they don't have all this regulation. You can download data from anywhere and use it. And most of face recognition companies in China are sponsored and funded by the government. So, and they are, they have this system, the government fund face recognition company, this face recognition company download the whole world data, nobody can go after them. And then they start to license this face recognition capability to, like the government again, to monitor people and a lot of, and the world. So we need to find a way, like ethical way, how we can stand up to this challenge in face recognition. Maybe synthetic data generation, how we can create artificial faces can maybe be part of this problem. This is one trend. Another one, it will be deepfake. How can I can get the photo of your face and put it on any video. I can simulate your face, your voice, and put it in any context. And 99.99%, including your family, may not recognize that's not you who is saying that or doing that. Also, this is a very big threat. It is exciting technology to be able to simulate data and faces and videos. There's huge good use cases, but also it's scary somehow that I can create such like content, multimedia content about anybody in extremely realistic way, making them saying anything or doing anything. So this is another big threat that, and even in Congress, there's task force for Deepfake Act to prepare a strategy to address this challenge. And the third thing is the virtual human, the digital twin of you. Like, if you look, many companies now working so hard, how I can create digital twin of everybody, somebody like virtual copy of your face, your voice, the way you are talking, the way you are texting, and you can put it inside games, you can put it on social media. You can, now there's a huge market for digital influencer on YouTube. There's some digital avatars or character, they have millions of followers and making millions of dollars online from social media.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yep, I appreciate you being on the program and giving us some insight. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Thank you very much for your time, Talib, and looking forward to seeing what happens next with your company. And for those people that are interested in learning more about how to grow their business and looking at things like AI and other trends, please go to our website, sparkpartners.com, and take a look at our course called Think Innovation. And we'll be releasing other courses down the road as well. With that, have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll be talking to you soon. Cheers.
Thank you very much, man. My pleasure.
All right.
I thought that was pretty interesting talking to Caleb. Did you enjoy it?
I did. Yeah, I think it was good to see some of the challenges that are presented to the whole AI space as it pertains to things like privacy, things like scalability, and certainly he's got some things to work out as far as his value.
Yeah. So, and it was pretty clear talking to Caleb that he's a technical guy. He's not the CEO of the company. He's not head of marketing or business development for the company. But I think it's worthwhile we do a recap on this one because he pointed out what we frequently show as being the biggest weakness of an entrepreneur. He clearly has a solution in search of a problem. That doesn't mean there aren't a lot of problems, but he didn't develop the solution to meet an unmet need. He developed a solution. They went out there and said, hey, we could do machine vision in a better way. I've been working in machine vision for 40 years. When I was at the DuPont company, I did a lot of work with machine vision. So it's been around for a long time. There are a lot of applications for machine vision. And the point is that rarely are those machine vision successful, those solutions successful, unless they're initially developed for a specific application. So you could be using it in printing. You could be using it in healthcare. You could be using it in defense. And then they can be very successful. For example, heads-up displays have been very successful in the defense industry and in aerospace. But they were specifically developed for that application. Efforts that developed them for automobiles failed because they were too costly and couldn't get anybody to buy into it. He's talking about three huge markets here: automotive, healthcare, and gaming. They are huge. They are growing. But, realistically, who's his customer? Who's he trying to sell to? If he's trying to improve safety, is he selling to General Motors? Is he selling to Tesla? Is he selling to insurance companies? Is he trying to convince regulators this is a good thing to put into cars? There's really no definition here of a customer. He's just talking about, well, okay, there's some things we could do better, and we've got great functions, great features, and we can deliver benefits. But when you sit down and say, well, is that a prevalent need that you can solve? Can you fill an unfilled need? No, we didn't hear that. There are unmet needs, right? But if you're going to go into healthcare and you're saying, well, I can have a camera that could read somebody's face and it could send diagnostic information to a physician or a family practitioner or somebody, then you need to say that, right? We can help you be better with something. Right. Remember the woman we had who was in the diabetes insulin business, right? Very clear. There's an unmet need around people, diabetics, and their need for insulin, and she was very clear about where she was going with that. And again, just fuzzy answers about what they might want to do. And so my prediction is that this company will probably never succeed. It's out trying to raise money. It'll probably struggle to raise money because it doesn't have a clear focus on what it's trying to accomplish and a value proposition. It'll probably bounce around with big customers, hoping one of those customers will say, oh, yeah, this sounds great, and I'll give you some money. That's a tough road to go. And if you do, you end up having to give them all your technology, and if you get out of it at all, you're lucky if they buy you out. It's one of these examples of a technology in search of an answer. And it's unfortunate, and I think it's very important that our listeners understand that as interesting as he is and as deep as he understands the marketplace, as deep as he understands the technology, it's a lack of understanding of the marketplace, a lack of understanding of the needs, a lack of understanding of how he's going to resolve a trend that is really going to get in the way of the opportunity to succeed.
Yeah, and I think some of that is when you're a platform, it's seemingly a lot more difficult to find that quote unquote solution because everything is a solution. Or everybody needs a solution. Everybody can use this, and so that's a problem with the entrepreneurial mindset. Sometimes is they see this pot of gold and they say, "Wow, everybody can use this," but the fact of the matter is, unless somebody uses it, no one's going to use it. Unless you can provide it to somebody that really, really needs it, it's going to go nowhere. It reminds me of a story I was told by a guy named Steve Blank, who's a Stanford guy. He created a lot of the foundational startup things like the business model canvas was not part of his thing, but he used it, other things like that. And he talked about a company that had built a desalination technology, and it was on the back of 3 big old semis. So it was mobile. So you could run up to the city of San Diego, you can put a big old pipe in the ocean, and then you can suck out all the water and put the salt in one bucket and the water in another. And it worked well. It checked all the boxes. And they were wondering why they couldn't get any business. And they were out there talking to people, and the quote unquote need was there, but there wasn't a strong enough need.
Right.
And there wasn't, and their Achilles heel was that municipalities would take years to make a decision of that nature. So they went back to the drawing board and they said, okay, who really, really needs this? And they canvassed the marketplace, and they ended up landing on the fracking folks. The fracking folks, when they do the fracking operation, one of the issues is they produce all this brackish water.
Yep.
So it's like water with stuff in it. It's just gross. And they're having to pump it out, put it into a semi, ship it sometimes a couple 100 miles to get processed. And so super clear value. Once they figured that out, it was a match made in heaven.
Yep.
Because there was a need, someone with a burning need, and they made it all happen. That's how it happened.
And that's a big lesson that I think our listeners should take away. Understand the need you're trying to solve, and then build a solution. Otherwise, you can just spend an awful lot of energy building a solution and then even more energy trying to be successful. And you'll fail where the person who starts with the need may have a solution that's half as good as yours. But if it's targeted at the need, they'll more likely get sold and develop and move forward.
Very good insights, Adam. Well, thanks for your time. Any final thoughts on the podcast?
No, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to listen to it. And we'll have to dig into this AI opportunity some more going forward. A lot of people are confused about it, but I think let's find some more people to interview. We'll help people see the opportunities. Thanks a lot.
All right. Take care, Adam. See you later.
Thank you.